Hi, so let's talk high culture. High culture is essentially the culture of the elite. And when we're talking about the culture of the elite, it's that stuff that, unless you have special knowledge, special cultural socialization, you are not likely going to get it. And by get it, I mean like actually innately understand it, be able to appreciate it for what it is, be able to reach for it immediately and love it or embrace it or have access to it. It's all of those things. And Pierre Bourdieu, which your text does talk about, very explicitly tells us that not all of us have the cultural capital to be able to make sense of high culture. We can't all have access to it. We don't all have the background to be able to make sense of it. And I think sometimes this is a little foggy for folks, so, things like opera, like high art, not kitschy art, love kitsch, but not kitschy art. It's the kind of stuff that most of us will not have an easy appreciation for. That said, it is sometimes really hard to define. So I have an example for you. This is from my real life. I've worked a lot of jobs. One of the things that you don't get to hear as much are all the stories about all the jobs I work with this online class. But I worked a job where I literally followed physicians around a hospital. I worked for this organization called the W21C, called the Ward of the 21st Century, and it's located in Foothills Hospital. It's a research group. We do all kinds of research. So one of the tasks that I had was specifically to see what attending physicians did in their jobs, and we did a whole data analysis. It's a huge project. I can talk about that another time. However, while I was at the W21C, they were doing all kinds of neat tech stuff that is really useful for medicine, including like these really high-tech beds. They were really into these beds, and I don't really understand them because it's not my area, and I didn't really do my research on it, but it was really cutting-edge stuff, so very exciting. And as they're doing this cutting-edge stuff, I remember William and Kate got married. So Prince William married Kate Middleton. It was this big ordeal, this big to-do, and royals, one of the things they do after they get married is they go on tour. They're like rock stars, right? And they did actually tour Canada, and any public institution can write an application to invite them to come visit them. So the W21C, housed in the University of Calgary at Foothills Hospital, went ahead and invited them to come check out this bed. And sure enough, they accepted. And so we ended up with a royal visit. One of the craziest things about a royal visit is you don't actually realize how much work goes into you as a person in order to have a royal visit. So what do I mean by that? Well, this is high culture in a nutshell. About a month before they came, there was a whole list of things that we were told we were supposed to conduct ourselves as. So, for example, as a woman, I was not allowed to wear any pants. I had to wear a skirt or a dress. There were certain colors we had to stay away from. Shoulders had to be entirely covered, so nothing sleeveless. There were certain looks that you were allowed. The length of your dress mattered, and it couldn't be too long or too short. It was both. Heel size mattered, so you had to wear heels. You could not wear flats, and the heel had to be like 1 inch, I believe, and only 1 inch. For the men, like the collar size of they had to wear shirts with collars, okay, first of all, like actual full suits, and the collar size had to be a certain length, and I can't remember for the life of me. They needed to tie the tie a certain way. There was all sorts of form and function that we had to do just in terms of our physical bodies. And this is not something we knew we would have to do going into this, because we did not have the cultural capital, we did not have high culture to understand that Prince William and Kate actually required us to conduct ourselves in that kind of way with that degree of consideration. There were rules about what we could and couldn't say, making eye contact or not making eye contact, when it was appropriate to do so or not do so. So I think that's what we mean by high culture. It's not stuff we have easy access to. It's stuff that if you're part of that, if you're in that group with all that cultural capital, you know what's coming. We did not know what was coming. And so as a result, we saw some challenges early on, and it was a tricky thing to negotiate. As an aside, just in case you're curious, I didn't actually go into work that day. It was too stressful. I made the decision to just stay home and not deal with the level of stress. I worked from home instead. Regardless, I hope that helps clear up high culture a little bit. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.